It's the HoopWise podcast from New England Basketball Journal, a comprehensive look at the basketball landscape in New England, tracking prospects, recruiting, college, and more, with your hosts, Steve Hewitt and Ethan Fuller.
Welcome back to another episode of the HoopWise podcast, part of New England Basketball Journal. I'm Ethan Fuller. I'm back with Steve Hewitt. We have yet another great guest on the show. Oh my gosh, we just keep on rolling. Lambros Papalambros, thank you for entering and coming with us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Second season as Noble's boys head coach. You are also a head coach of the Middlesex Magic Hoop Group team, where you've been for the last 11 years, or you've been coaching with the Magic for 11 years.
Is it 11?
Mm-hmm.
It's 11.
Yeah,
right?
11.
Okay.
Going on 11. This spring will be 11.
Okay.
Amazing. And played in high school at Archbishop Williams, post-grad at Suffield, played at college at Babson and Curry, and then led your coaching career. Steve has written about you before. I think your journey to getting to where you are is really neat, really inspiring.
Thank you.
And we got a bunch of questions for you about both your journey, just kind of the state of basketball too, because you are a younger coach in the space too, and it's really interesting to get that perspective, I think. So generally, how's your summer been? How is it kind of flipping back to the school year now?
Yeah, it's been, not too much different than, some of the summers in the past. This one, as far as the Magic, was a little different, solely because of our recent success.
Yeah.
Obviously not obviously, to give a little history, when Mike, Coach Crotty, sorry, that's my brother. When Mike was, he was the hoop group coach, and they won 3 in a row, 17s. And then we did the ZGXL, I believe, for a year, which is when I started doing the B team. And then we did hoop group. So I think maybe this is the 4th year on the HGSL for myself.
Yeah.
The first year I was kind of feeling my way through. And you know me a little bit, Steve. Like, I didn't even know there was like a final tournament. I mean, I was very green. I just coached my guys as hard as I could. So then when we happened to win it the last couple, I really felt a target this year on our back, more so than years past, which was very interesting because last year I thought we snuck up on some people, even though we were consistently good throughout the year. I don't think people completely gave us a chance to win the whole thing. This year, it felt different. It just felt different. You can ask, like Alex and people that were with us. It just, it felt like we had a target this year, which was fun. It was fun because it was a different dynamic. We were the hunted as opposed to the hunter. So in that respect, that's where it was, the biggest difference that I felt this summer.
Yeah.
With the Magic. Yeah.
Yeah. So you, as you said, you won the championship last summer, Hoop Group 17s.
Love you boys.
Amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah, we did a big story on that. You may or may not have cut your hair.
Oh, man. We're hanging on, right? A little bit. We're hanging on.
But then this year, you made another run to the championship. Obviously, unfortunately, losing in the final. But we've spoken a bunch about this, about how just how rewarding this journey this season was. What were you, like a 7 or 8 seed maybe going into that tournament?
Yes.
So you weren't like considered like a big favorite or anything, but obviously it was heartbreaking to lose in the fashion you did. But
still hurts.
It still hurts. But talk about just like how rewarding and how fulfilling this season was, maybe compared to other ones.
That's a great question. One thing I will say is because we've expanded so much, now we draw from so far, right? We draw from, goodness, we had a guy, Rowan Antruzzi, on my team. He drove 3.5 hours to practice from Greenwich, Connecticut.
That's great.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously speaks to incredible, strides that we've made. But our strength as the Magic has been our continuity over the years, and obviously it's harder when you have guys who can't be at practice all the time. And I know Coach Crotty can attest to this too, now that they're drawing from so far away. So I felt, how do I word this? I just had to listen to the room and kind of feel where guys were at every week, and the growth wasn't as linear as it can be, right, in years past, just because there's weeks that you don't have, a big group of guys in the gym at once, which is, like we said, that's our strength with the Magic. So that's a big point of pride that I know I take, and I hope the boys take too, is like, we didn't even have that much time together until the season really got going. There was some injuries, there was some roster movement. So when it was all said and done, to be tied with 3 minutes left in the championship, against a heck of a team. AKT was awesome. Shout out to them. They were excellent. There were a lot of good teams. The depth of talent this year was extremely strong on the hoop group. But to make it there without, like I said, the continuity, some of the practices and everything, I thought our roster was much different. Last year we had, some of the best shooting in New England, as you guys know. Incredible shooting. This year we were more physically gifted. We had some reclass guys. We were bigger and stronger, but we lacked shooting. So that was a fun challenge as a coach to stylistically play a little different and still see success.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of wins, and the guys' recruitment is in a good spot. I thought everybody got, we learned to play to our strengths while still playing team basketball. So, in those last 3 minutes, I bear a lot of that brunt. I don't feel as if I coached, my best game. Definitely not my best end of game stuff, where a coach really prides himself on. I thought I dropped the ball with the guys, and it's made me better for sure. So yeah, that's that. It's no losses, only lessons.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool for me to hear and read about how much pride you take in coaching that hoop group team. Because again, as the second team, and as you've shown, you can compete in practice with the first team, but the top Magic team that Karate coaches is a lot of like nationally ranked potential Power 4 players, and you're coaching a lot of either like low major D1 or fringe D1 or maybe really good D3 players. How does that change your job and your responsibility as a coach, and how much pride do you take in helping that level of player?
Another great question. It is obviously you guys are pretty good at what you do.
Thanks.
It's a good question. It's obviously a little bit of a different dynamic. The biggest thing I try to harp on is do the work when nobody's watching, and whether you're, Ryan Mesh, who has all the attention and deservedly so, or you're one of our guys, it's like the work doesn't change, right? You get what you put in, and that's life. And so there's a difference, but it's it's a similar approach. Whether it's AJ, who you just had on, I'm sure he'd say the same thing. He's gonna live in the gym. If your ceiling is a mid-major Division I kid, let's get you to your ceiling. That's it. That's all we can do is try to make you become the best basketball player you can be. Obviously, use it as a vehicle to become a great person and take that consistency to life, and that's the goal. So, I guess it's similar but different.
Okay.
Yeah, if that answers the question.
No, that's great. Yeah.
I want to get into a few of the specific guys you kind of touched on, whose recruitment is going really well, and three guys in particular. You mentioned Rowan, Latif, Afalabi, and then who's just like an athletic freak at like 6'3" guard.
Unbelievable. Do things that you only dream about. Most of us mortals only dream about. Yeah,
and he's getting a little D1 attention, and Brady O'Connell.
Oh yeah,
who you told me has the best closeouts you've ever seen.
Bring out the film, do we?
I wish we did have some film on that.
Unbelievable.
Let's touch on those three guys, who I think were probably three of the biggest stock risers out of any team in the region this spring and summer, and maybe hit on each guy and what you saw from them.
Absolutely. So we'll start with Rowan. So Rowan, as we said, comes from a long way away. Greenwich, Connecticut. He was new to the program. He played a couple sneaker programs before. I hope people don't take this wrong out there, but this is who I am. So I thought Rowan was a little bit poisoned from what AAU can be, right? That is not what we do, but AAU can be very individualistic. It's a dog-eat-dog world, as you guys know. So it took a little bit of convincing on my end, I thought, to keep Rowan around early on. We had a moment in Pittsburgh. You know, we had 11 guys, man. You got 11 great players, too. This isn't like, 7 of them are great and 5 of them know their role. Like, no, there's 11 guys that all deserve to be on the court. So it's difficult.
It's a challenge.
Big-time challenge. And it comes with the territory. So
Yeah.
But I looked Rowan in his eyes. I said, you got to stay with me, man. Like, 'cause, you know, I was yanking him for going 1-on-4, but that's what he was used to, you know, and he thought he wasn't going to get touches if not. So I completely understand, and that's where being a player helps a lot, right? You can kind of empathize with these guys and put yourself in their shoes on the court too. But we had a moment. I looked him in his eyes. I said, you got to stay with me, man. This is going to be different. You're a huge piece here. Please have faith in me. And I'll look into the camera. Thank you for having faith, Rowan. You know, like, he did it the hard way. Like, he didn't run like a lot of kids run, right? And we're responsible too as adults. Like, we foster into this stuff. But Rowan played the long game, and he had faith in himself, and he had faith in the program. He had faith in myself, and I will always love him for that. And look how it turned out. So that's a cool little story about Rowan. Yeah. And that kid is incredible. I mean, wherever he lands, man, Rowan,
built like a tight end.
That's Gronk. That's Gronk. That's Gronk on the basketball court.
Yeah,
and he's
shoot a little bit.
I was gonna say with more finesse though. Like I don't say that tongue in cheek. Like that kid, he does it all. 3-level scorer. He defends. He won us a sneaker game in Atlantic City with about 5 wall-ups. Right, so just jumping vertically. You know, like, whereas it's a hard thing to do, and you're completely sacrificing for the betterment of the team, and that's the type of teammate and guy Rowan is.
Yeah.
Latif, first of all, that's, you know, Teef and I are very, very tight. His father, incredible man, incredible family. You can tell why Latif is the person he is. I mean, it comes from home, and he just he was so receptive to coaching, and he was so receptive. I always do a film session every year with these guys early on too, to try to, I feel like we're indebted to kind of show them, you know, just in case their high school coach doesn't as much, or just to get a different perspective. So we did a film session in Pittsburgh, and I saw it click with Latif. You know, and it's like, oh, he's a visual learner, simple. So this is how we have to teach him. And his mind for the game just continued to grow. His feel continued to grow, and he started affecting the game on all different levels, I thought, as opposed to just kind of scoring early on. And his leadership is awesome. That's one thing Latif doesn't get enough credit for. When the most physically gifted guy on a team acts like him, you know, I can't put a finger on it, but he's, you know, positive, supportive, doesn't try to big boy anybody, all that stuff. Your team's going to be pretty good. And that's Latif for you. Yeah. And then Brady, man, I love that kid. People know Brady was on our 16U team when we won it 2 years ago with, you know, all those other guys, which was an incredible team. I always say if I had to win one game, Brady is on that short list. Very short list. Trent Mascara is on that list too, by the way.
Okay.
Shout out Trent. And Thomas.
Thomas Ferdinando.
A lot of other people too, Tegan too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brady's on that list. Incredible competitor, and it stinks when you tell coaches how good of a defender somebody is. I don't know. We seem to automatically think they're not great offensively, and that's just not the case with Brady. He's a great, great offensive player. He's just better than your favorite defender at defense. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he can't play the other side of the ball, and I thought he proved that this summer. Yeah.
I saw him hit some big shots at Dana Barros. I think that one game. I forget when it was or what tournament it was.
Right?
Yeah.
Against Crown.
Yeah.
You know, we jumped out 22-4, and I have so much respect for Crown, and they had beaten us. And I mean, Brady was the catalyst offensively in that game as well as defensively. So
Yeah.
those three guys, and it's down the roster, guys. Everybody, that team. We had a special team this summer. I feel at fault that we couldn't get it done because I wanted those guys to experience the feeling of what we felt last year.
Yeah.
But hopefully they learn to never want to feel that again. And when they're in that position, you know, same here.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
We'll all make good on it. Yeah.
Let's shift to the school season because
do it.
we're into September now.
Yeah, this will probably come out first day of school for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Entering your second season at Nobles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First year, just missed the playoffs. You were kind of
We were in the hunt.
You were in the picture.
We were
for,
in the hunt
for most
yeah,
of the season.
We were.
What did you take? It was the first time coaching at NEPSAC, right? And going through that Class A schedule, it's a tough one. What did you learn over the course of your first season that you're going to take with you this year? What were some of the biggest teaching moments for you last year that were really important, that are really important for you, and kind of informing maybe how you approach your second year?
First of all, there are no cupcakes in Class A.
Yeah.
It is, the NEPSAC is so strong, as we all know. The coaching, I have so much respect for so many of those coaches. First of all, you know that you have to match wits with somebody who genuinely is great at what they do, which is awesome, especially as a younger coach in this thing. So that's the first thing. The coaching is top notch. I mean, these teams are prepared, and you have to have plan B, C, and D in the bag at all times to ensure that you're going to be okay. The talent level is so high that, it's different. I would always say to my peers last year, I don't know what good looks like in the NEPSAC, right? Like, I didn't know what a winning team looked like. So, right? Like, in AAU, I know what good or great kind of looks like. Like, oh, we're getting there. I can see it. I can feel it. I know what it is. In NEPSAC, I didn't. And that was the biggest challenge last year, is kind of like, obviously you want to be as strong as you can be, but there's kind of those lines in the sand. You're like, oh, we're getting somewhere. It was hard for me to recognize those. So that's one. And that's where I think just experience is the greatest teacher.
Yeah.
How helpful was it to have... Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay.
Please.
To have Alex Gallagher both as your AD and as girls coaching legend, I imagine you probably went to him a good amount last year.
Oh, yeah.
What was he helpful with for you?
He was living in his office.
He's helpful with everything. Alex, first of all, he's an incredible man, family man, incredible dad, husband, like all those things. I look up to Alex before the basketball stuff. I really do. He's where I'd like to be in 20 years or whatever. And just logistically, but it's more where he helped me the most, and it's not even close, is the day-to-day stuff, right? Like, he's so good at team building, relationship building within the program, making sure there's leadership at all facets, not just the 2 or 3 captains, Like, they have groups that they meet with and everything, right? You've spoken to them.
Yeah.
It's big time, right?
They have their weekly, oh my gosh, I forget what it's called, but they have a lot of these weekly sessions where they can kind of vent to each other that I've at least have been told are really helpful for all the players.
Yes.
And so those are really cool. Yeah.
That type of stuff is I learned there's a million ways to skin a cat, you know? And Alex, what's amazing about how Alex treats me is he's hands off. Like he really lets me coach and has faith. But the second I ask him a question or I need to pick his brain, he is there. So I have so much respect and adoration for that man. And watching them not get it done this year, you know, it was like, oh my goodness, they're human.
That game was insane. That's one of the craziest basketball games.
Was
I've ever
that
watched in my
game
life.
not incredible?
Yeah.
I was at home
my
like
gosh.
throwing stuff. Excuse me. Man,
Yeah.
And Christina, like I've become a Christina fan who's, you know, going to Fairfield. If she was 2 inches taller, I firmly believe she would be at any school in the country.
I could see it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
best shooter I probably have ever watched at this level. Yeah,
Off
it's
the
crazy.
bounce, I mean, she's outstanding, and I'm like a huge fan of Christina. And Vin is, you know, we've been
Friend of the pod.
boom, right? So we've like communicated before Nobles and everything. So it was cool to kind of live through it with them too and see what such a successful team does on day to day. And I definitely took a lot of things with me.
Yeah.
That I'll use this year.
Yeah. Looking at your team going into this season, bring a lot of guys back from
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
Obviously, you lose a few guys like Drew Kahn.
Rylan, Akeel,
yeah.
Jameson,
Yeah.
all of them
Those are tough departures.
big time.
But you bring back a lot of great guys. Headline, I think, by Raul Cruz.
My man Ra, that's a cat.
One of my favorite point guards in New England right now. Just led Team White Mamba to a 16U championship. Was named the MVP.
Congrats to Scout and
Yeah.
Coach Perry too.
For sure.
Congrats, that's
Absolutely.
big time, guys. Yep, love it. Love to see it.
Yeah. How underrated is Raul? Like, he doesn't get talked about with like some of the top guards around, but like Mike Perry was telling me, because I did a story on them winning the championship, he does things that you can't teach.
Did he give any
his IQ.
examples?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But IQ and stuff.
his IQ, yeah, he just sees things that others don't see.
The chills.
He's just a general out there. Like, how underrated is he in terms of the New England basketball landscape right now?
Man, I'm so happy and proud of that kid. And I don't even want to say this because I know what his dad would say. He'd say, hey, you got to keep it going, you know, and he's right. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why he's got here. He has an incredible support system at home. His parents are amazing. They've helped me a lot with the transition, first of all. So thank you, thank you both. But Raul is extremely underrated. I think it's starting to change. You know, he's getting some due. And that's what you have to do. You have to go out there and just win some things.
Right.
And right?
Yep.
You don't want to give me credit? Here, now you have no choice, right?
Exactly.
So I'm glad he forced people's hands with that. But Raul is one of the smartest people I've ever been around. But basketball minds, it's a short list. He is incredible. One example that he taught me something, we're down. I don't remember the game. I have no idea. But we're down, maybe 4, and we have no timeouts left. Dummy. But gotta keep one
learning
in the
lessons, man. Learning.
Gotta keep
Everything's a
one in the
lesson.
bag. But we had no timeouts left, and we make it maybe a 2-point game with less than 5 seconds on the clock. The way Class A does it, I can't speak to double or triple. The home team decides, I believe, but under a minute, clock runs on a made basket.
I think that's the same in Double A at least.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the home team can maybe decide, but I'll have
Not
to
sure.
circle back to that. But long story short, the clock was running under 5 seconds. Ball goes through the hoop. Raul takes it and just throws it in the corner of the gym. They stop the game. We get a delay of game warning, but now we get to set up our defense. And there's still 3.8 seconds on the clock or whatever.
Oh, he did that to stop the clock.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And I live by it. Like, I teach it. you know. And now the rest of the season, the guys were doing that stuff.
So you only got like a warning there, or was it like a tactical?
As long as you don't have a delay a game before that, you're good.
Okay.
So like, that's the level Raul thinks the game.
Dang.
Yeah, right.
That's really impressive.
Isn't that?
Wow.
Me too. In my head, I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
I gotta pretend I knew what he was doing, but I had no.
Just like I told you, Raul, right?
Right? Yes. Way to follow orders, kid. Yeah, you know. But yeah, that and now physically he's coming into his own. You know, he looks great. His body, he's moving. You know, he's moving so much better, and he's shooting the ball. So yeah, I'm really and Jack was on that team too. You know, and Jack Mullins was the one guy I got to bring. You know, when I got the job at Nobles. Yeah, I brought Jack. There was some question marks and everything. But I saw so much of myself in the kid. I was like, no, we're gonna get, you know, Jack to where he needs to be, because he's a special person, and anyone who's been around him will tell you that. And you know, I just saw he got second team all made, and he took 3 charges in the championship. I'm like, what is going on with you, dude? Like that is awesome, right? So just seeing their growth, and I just couldn't be happier for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember talking to you last season before the season started, just about, and you were pretty open about the goals for the season. Like you weren't afraid to be like, we're trying to make the playoffs, we're trying to win the ISL. Like, what do we got in store for year 2? Like, what are you most excited about? Like, who else do you think is going to make a big jump this year? Like, what can we expect from Nobles in 25, 26? Geez. 25, 26 season.
Is that what year we're in?
Yeah.
Where does time go?
I know.
Well, the goal does not change.
Right.
We are trying to win the ISL, and we're trying to win Class A, and that'll be the goal every single year. And I'm not shy about saying that. Will it be easy? No.
Yeah.
Right? Do I have a boatload of respect for every opponent we play? Yes, of course. But if we're not playing to win the whole thing, like what are we really doing? So that's still our goal.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited about this year. The leap that every guy within the program, I mean 1 through 12, I mean it is it's special to see. I've been an assistant in college and high school, and I've seen improvement. Obviously it doesn't feel like this when you're kind of running the show. So to see them just be coachable and be receptive to, like, who am I? Like, I went to Curry College. I played Division III basketball. Like, to them, and they understand that, like, no, this man cares about who we are as people and players, and like to see them kind of take what we've talked about. It took about, it took 6 months, right, to build the foundation, or 9 months, right? So to see all of the guys work so hard and work together, it's why we do it. It's why we do it. I didn't even know how cool this part of the job was, right? Like, So yeah, and we brought in, first of all, the guys who were back. KJ Hurd. KJ is a man on a mission. Right now, he's one of the hardest workers I know. He texts me every night, Coach, what time we in the gym? What time we in the gym?
Love it.
Right? Yeah. Zach Baum. I mean, Zach's right?
He looked great at the showcases.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. His improvement's been immense. And to me, it's more his leadership, right? I just looked at my Nobles group chat tonight. He said, runs at 6, ... Be there.
There you go.
We didn't have that. We didn't have that inner accountability last year. We just didn't have it, and it has to, you can kind of hip them to it, but it has to happen organically.
Yeah.
And to see that from Zach is just the biggest leap he could make, and to see the person he's becoming. One of the coolest stories I've had as a coach, Zach Baum. I love that kid. I love his family. So he's going to have a huge year. And then, all the guys returning, Adam, Farris, Christian, Igosa, right? So we have a couple football players now that want to play because
That's cool.
Yeah, because the culture's there, right? And now you get these guys who are great athletes who just want to be part of something. And that's how I know we're on the right track.
That's really cool.
Yeah, right. And then we brought in Jack, Chuck Chafflin and Michael Lease.
I love Jack.
Right. Those two boys are going to help immensely, man.
What was that play he made at the showcase? I was there that game where he got like a steal.
Oh,
in the backcourt
against Hotchkiss, right? Was that?
I forget who it was against.
Oh no, Tabor. Tabor.
Yeah. What was that play he did?
He great move, laid one. They were coming down.
I think he like tipped it to
They
himself.
threw it long.
Two defenders.
He tipped it over the guy, right?
I was like, who is this kid?
No, that was electric. That was electric. Yeah. No, Jack is.
I'm excited about him.
Hard worker. No, he's that kid. Skill set. I mean, and then Michael.
Michael Lease.
Jack's going to be outstanding. It's simple. It's simple. Come watch him play. Michael is probably the highest level prospect we have.
He's a 29, right?
29. 6'7", shoots it like anybody you could talk about. I mean, he shoots it that well. So now it's about just rounding out his game, rounding out his frame, and just having fun getting better. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So very exciting.
This kind of goes off something you said a few minutes ago, and it's always something I think about when I see first-year coaches join the role, and I'm around coaches, and I was like, oh, like how would I do in this situation, kind of thing, if I were a first-year coach, and the idea of generating buy-in from a team when they don't really know who you are and they only know you by your credentials and what you've kind of done in the past, that especially in kind of different situations always seems really hard to me. So now that you've gone through the first year, what have you learned works, I guess, for you with creating buy-in and like starting to build a culture that way?
Wow. No, that's awesome. I would say rule number 1A, 1B is authenticity. Authenticity, be yourself. When Lambros and Coach P are the same person, you're okay, right? You're going to be okay. When those are two separate guys, it could be difficult. So I would say number one is just being yourself. Authenticity is everything. And then it's practicing what you preach. Yes. Yeah. So I felt like midway through the year, maybe when we came back from break, I started treating my body better. I was in the weight room early, right? I was getting out there and shooting with the kids. Not that you have to do that, because you don't. But I do think that can help when they say, oh, coach is begging us to work really hard, but he's beating us to the gym, and he's 35, right? Like, he doesn't have to be doing this. So I think that went a long way with them. And then just being there for them off the court and genuinely being there, not just, oh, I'm a coach, I better go talk to him for 2 minutes. No, like, what is his family structure? Where does he come from, right? Like, that's going to tell you a lot about who he is and how he's going to take coaching and everything. So I think those three things is a nice little pillar to start.
Sure. That's a great answer. Thank you.
And then at Nobles, these kids are so intelligent, and the ISL as a whole, NEPSAC, you have to be on the ball or they're going to see through it. Like they are, they're curious, they're inquisitive. Yeah. So just understanding that if you're on top of but it works both ways. Like, if you don't know, you'll get eaten alive mentally. But if you do, you're going to slowly earn their trust.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's a little bit of all.
I remember you telling me, I think maybe like your first meeting you had with them last year, and how impressed you were with, like, because you asked for their feedback about like what needed to change within the program, and like you were so, like, that was refreshing to hear about just their insight and how smart they were. Yeah,
just as young men. I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, they come from incredible families and awesome. Just everything. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
it is.
Kind of jumping off that topic, I wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit. One of my favorite things about you is just how, like, you're like genuinely like the most positive coach that I've like seen in the year I've been doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like it's just like cool. Like, not that that's like the right style. Like,
correct.
It works
exactly.
for you. Like, other coaches coach harder or have different styles, and it works for them depending on the kid and what they're looking for. But it's like, it's cool and refreshing to see just like your approach and how like you're just constantly supportive. You're always clapping your hands and uplifting and empowering your kids like all the time.
Thank you, man.
And I remember you telling me when we did the profile last year, just when you were interviewing with Alex Gallagher, about like that was kind of a pillar of your program, is like love and positivity. What I guess how did that maybe style come to be for you? Like where does that come from? Like how and why does that maybe work for you, I guess?
Well, this is a really good segue, because it is the authenticity piece, right? Like positive guy by nature. I think it comes with perspective. Obviously, some people have read the piece or whatnot. I can talk about this all day, but you know, I dealt with tragedy as a kid. I lost my mom when I was 8. And you know, when you endure, and there's other things that I've been through that were some of it self-inflicted, some of it not. But when you endure things like that in life and you move on and, you know, you get to higher ground, you kind of have a different perspective on things. And, like, I remember actually being recruited by Steve Brennan when I was in the room at Babson. And he said to me, I still remember it to this day, he said, look, when you have the ball in your hands with 2 minutes left in the game, you're not scared. Like, you've been through way worse things than this, right? And that stuck with me forever. Because it's the truth. And that's what I kind of try to instill in kids, too.
Yeah.
Because whether you come from this household or that household, you've been through some things. You know, everybody has. My evil is no better than yours and vice versa, or worse. So I think really just having constant perspective in life is the greatest superpower you can have. And the other part about being positive on the sideline, it's way harder than being negative.
Yep. I was about to say, like, yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So ask anybody. It's much more difficult than being negative, right? Staying positive.
Because I'm sure there's just some things you want to like blurt out, some choice words you want to say, but you kind of hold it in, right?
Come on, there was a moment in that, and I'm not always. Goodness, at Nobles last year, I thought I got out of pocket multiple times because I wanted it so bad, whether for myself or the guys, both, that I grew from. But we were in New Jersey this year in the last tournament, and we were playing horribly. And this is when we're playing our best ball, and I was not as positive as I usually am. And Anthony DeJean, who I also love, coached him multiple years, he was like, Coach, positivity. Like, come on, Coach. I said, give me something to be positive about, you know?
Help me out, man.
Right? You know, it's a two-way street. No, but he was so right. He was so right. And that brought me back to earth. And that's the type of relationship I want with my guys. Not every coach wants that. You know, some coaches need their guys to be like this, and that works for them, and that's okay. I'm not, you know. Guys we can banter back and forth.
Yeah.
Obviously not disrespectful, but, you know, if you have something that you don't agree with, please tell me. Let's get this thing out there. Let's come to a resolution and move on, you know. So I think it's a combination of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to, like, just be yourself. Play to your strengths as a coach.
Play to your strengths.
And
let's face it, sorry.
No.
You know, I played for both. I played for much more negative guys than positive. That was kind of the old school way. I played much better when I had a coach that firmly believed in me and told me, good job,
right,
once in a while. Like,
yeah.
You know, and it's just as easy to tell kids, great job, when they do something you want done, as it is to tell them it's a poor job when they do something you don't want, right? But when you're thinking about what not to do all the time, you're walking on eggshells and landmines, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're just thinking about the couple things that you do well and that you need to do, it's much easier to play.
Yeah.
Right. When
Playing
it
a little
comes down.
playing looser. And,
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that helped with like, there's a lot of talk. I don't know if we're getting too big picture here, but I feel like we have conversations with coaches and players all the time about the importance of like knowing your role and filling a role and not feeling like this even goes back to some of the AAU stuff you were talking about. The idea that you need to do too much or like go 1-on-4 all the
Right.
time. And I think when you hear the positive feedback from that comes with you filling a role and sticking to your strengths, like that has got to make that feel more rewarding, even if it kind of feels lesser initially. I don't know if that made sense what I was saying. Yeah.
It did. Like, you have to glorify the grunt work too, right? Like, it's not fun being a point guard like Keyshawn, right? Keyshawn Joyner, whose stock rose maybe more than anyone, by the way. Keyshawn's incredible.
Yeah.
Keyshawn having to go block out Isaiah Rose from Crown, 6'8", whatever. I mean, it's not fun. That is not fun for anyone. But when he does it successfully and he hears his coach and his teammates, right? Because that's what happens. The teammates, the guys wind up piggybacking on what I do, and then I don't have to be as positive anymore because his peers take it over, But I need to show them the way first, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of uncomfortable. Kids, we had a big joke at Nobles about glazing last year, right? I'm like, glaze? That's the stupidest term in the world, guys. It's called a compliment, and it's called calling it how you see it, right?
Yeah.
So like that type of thing, showing them it's cool to empower each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that
I
makes
think
sense.
that gives a little more motivation to guys to do it. Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
You spoke a little bit about Rowan earlier and how maybe he was exposed to some poisonous elements of grassroots basketball or what have you. I guess bring your thoughts to the table here. Like, are there other parts of high school grassroots basketball that kind of concern you about for kids right now? Or on the flip side, what are some things that are exciting for you and are actually benefiting kids maybe more so than when you were in their shoes? Like, give me a 10,000 foot view of maybe some thoughts or different things that you're seeing within the game and within the state of basketball right now and on the high school level.
It's such a loaded question.
I know there's a lot. We could probably spend
we
like
have
a part
these
two.
talks almost every day.
What
yeah.
do you got, E? What do you
Oh
think?
man, I mean, I'm going to think about. So we recently did an episode with. It was very interesting. The hockey guys, so New England Hockey Journal, and we were kind of going back and forth on how the development system works between the two sports, and our commonality was the cost for both is very high, and hockey it's kind of assumed. Basketball, people don't really realize until they're in it how much you have to commit. We've also, Steve and I, for the magazine that we should have probably teased that is out. Other people know.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Go
they'll figure
get it.
Go. Thank you. But our two kind of feature stories were about the pressure to join grassroots at an early age and go all in, and also Steve's story was about the pressure of playing year round in the year round calendar. So that's what I think more recently what we have been thinking about a lot is just like you're subconsciously required to do so much now to be a college prospect. And maybe that's my question for you is, does it feel different from when you were a player even?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The specialization is, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the biggest changes. I mean, even the best basketball players that I can remember, the majority of them played football also, or they grew up playing baseball. My dad, I played 5 sports growing up, soccer, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, right, until I was in like 9th grade. And then kind of took it to baseball, basketball, and then, and Dad always said that's why I became such a good player, was like having all that coordination and different muscles.
skills.
Yes. Not to mention team dynamics, right? Like, a soccer team, you have 11 guys on the field. You got about a 20-person team, right? In football, you got a 50-person team, and right? So, like, all of that stuff adds up, I think, right? And each sport has their little subcultures, right? Like, hockey, you got to be a tough dude. You're going to get your teeth knocked out probably. And if you come out of the game, your teammates are going to, like, look down upon you, right? So, like, you build certain areas of your character through every sport, I think. So, that's a big change. And when there's money involved, obviously, you see some evil. That's just how life works. But I would just say, you know, I love this game so much. It's you know, I'm the biggest Kobe Bryant fan in the world, but I disagree with what he used to say about basketball is what I do. It's not who I am. Like, basketball is who I am. And the way I act on the court within these confines is exactly the person I am, right? So I don't know where I was going with that.
It's a good difference.
Right? But here it is. What we are showing is, like, these kids are becoming runners, and they're running from challenges, and they're going to the next shiny object, or the path of least resistance. And I do wonder the toll it takes 5-10 years down the road on the culture as a whole. I also think coaches and parents have a lot to do with that too, right? With that being said, if I'm a parent, which I'm not right now, so I can only speak to this on a certain level.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I respect that too. I cannot tell you how I would be if I had a child. I would imagine I'd be somewhat like a lot of these parents, though, and I would try to find the best situation for my kid, whether I was leaving a program or not, right? Because that's what the coaches are doing. A lot of the coaches are saying, oh, you're on my team until this really good player comes over, and now you're not on my team anymore.
Right.
So I do think it's a two-way street, and I don't know where it's going to go. What a trend I think I'm starting to see is what you were saying, E, is like guys maybe taking the fall off or maybe not doing as much AAU and just getting in the gym and then playing the AAU that's important. Right?
Yeah, just like going into the live periods and
stuff like that.
yeah, or coaches are going to be.
Or, yeah, just maybe play spring and not play the fall. And, you know, because we have to create holistic humans here, man. Like, there's only so much you learn in a basketball gym. Yeah, that you're not exposing yourself to, in life. Yeah. So, but I care about the game immensely, and I have full faith. And the sport of basketball is in the best place it's probably ever been, right? I think it's the most popular sport in America. Like, that's
Probably.
It's the most growing sport in America, especially with the head stuff in football.
Yeah.
So it's in a great place, but of course it's trial and error, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think my last question for you, staying big picture. Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, we got time.
I especially want to ask you this because you have such a positive outlook, and I feel like in our job, that kind of naturally makes us have a more positive outlook on quote unquote kids today, and they're very different than when you were growing up and when I was growing up. Even though I'm not that old, but
How old are you?
I'm 25. Let's go. Anyway,
Tell him, Dave.
my point being, what do you think about the general, like, typical youth athlete today, and what are their strengths and weaknesses, and how is that different from when you were a player?
I'm so glad you asked this. The kids today are incredible. They're incredible. They're machines. Like, they can retain so much information that we couldn't. That's how I feel. A step above. It's unbelievable. The biggest challenge is making sure they don't get bored, but also not moving on to the next thing before they completely understand it, right? Like I'll read the room and I'll be like, these kids are sleeping, but we don't know what we're doing yet. Right. So now you have to just create a way to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Right. I think a goldfish attention span is 8 seconds, they say. And humans have like slowly dropped. We have to be under a goldfish right now with our attention span. We have to be, but that's adults too. But the kids are so intelligent. They're sponges. You just have to learn to use it to your advantage. Right. So one thing I do is, I don't speak nearly as much as this. I try to keep it real brief with my teaching, so we can kind of just keep a flow, and I keep their minds locked in. And then the other thing is they don't verbally communicate great with each other. That doesn't mean they're not great communicators, though. A ton of nonverbal communication with these kids. Their instincts are amazing. So it's kind of like reading between the lines and just, not being so rigid in your approach and just finding ways to keep them engaged while not, shorting on the teaching and stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
Great answer.
fascinating.
Yeah,
It's
thanks.
fascinating. It is.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Before we go to full court press, I want to hit you with some rapid fire New England basketball
Hit me.
questions.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Try to answer these in like less than 30 seconds each.
Okay.
All right. I don't have that much.
What do we got?
Favorite playing memory? We're going to go way back to Curry College, 1,000-point scorer, right? What was your favorite memory of
my entire playing career.
Of your playing career.
Whew. My goodness. Playing at the Garden.
Okay.
Yep.
That was for Curry?
Junior year. Nope. Archbishop Williams.
Archbishop,
Junior
okay.
year. We went to the...
Is it that Andrew Lawson tournament? Is that still the same?
No, this was actually the state tourney. So they used to, do they still
yeah.
do the state?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
It's different.
It's in Lowell.
It was unbelievable. The state tourney would be, Division 1 or whatever, Division 3,
Yep.
Division 2, Division 1. So, yeah, we were lucky enough to play there. Lost a tough game, but, man, coming out of that tunnel, I can still see it.
Yeah.
Lived out a dream. That and then winning a conference championship at Curry after all the craziness that transpired.
Sure.
Those two are definitely
Love
up
it.
there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Not on your team. Most underrated player in New England right now.
Whoa.
Who's someone that no one's talking about that should be talked about more?
Well, as we said, Cam Haley. I had Cam answer that a couple months ago, right? And we see what's going on. So Cam would have been mine until I feel like his stock really blew up the last couple months.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Most underrated player that's not on my team.
Anyone in Class A stick out? Who you played against last year?
Yeah, a bunch of guys. Underrated though, that's what I'm trying to think of, guys who don't get their due.
You want me to come back?
It'll hit me. Yeah.
You wanna come
Yeah,
back?
come back to it. 'Cause there's plenty, I'm sure.
What was the best game you've ever been a part of, playing or coaching? Like maybe a buzzer beater game, a game that was just back and forth all the way. Like what sticks out?
Got it. Player, senior year, we were in Leo Papil's Stop and Shop tournament. I think he
Okay.
still does it.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it's at Archie's now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny. It used to be at Chelsea High, and we played against Bishop Hendricken, who had won. I think Coach Missoula was on the team.
I was
the year
about to
before.
ask.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would have been
pretty
the
sure-
same years.
I think Joe was 06. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
So we played them in 07. This is the year after. I don't think they had lost in 2 or 3 years, and we were Division 3, but we were very good. And they were Division 1, and I fouled Billy Barron. Okay, I think
Okay.
he played at URI
Yep.
eventually. He was a freshman. I fouled him shooting a 3.
Oh.
Terrible foul, man. Gosh, I did foul him too. Right, that was back then. Like you had to foul
Yep.
someone for them to call it.
Yep.
So I must. Terrible
Knocked them
closeout,
out.
Brady. You got to teach me how to close out. Yeah, I fouled him. He hit all 3. We were down 2 with 3 seconds left, ball on the baseline, and this is still on YouTube. It's very, very blurry. But we ran this crazy play. My teammate Ricky Titus, who hit a bunch of big shots for us all year, he shoots a runner from like 40 feet, and it gets tipped. Like kid partially blocked it, but it's still like falling down, and it comes right back to him, like 25-footer, 1 foot, barely gets it off, swishes it, and we
crazy.
just storm the court. And Winchendon and Notre Dame Prep were playing next, and Michael Beasley was like right on the baseline,
Oh, no way.
because they were playing the next game. and we had knocked off Hendricken, who was just, perennial power and was still excellent, So that was the coolest. And then they wrote this big piece. I think Dan Ventura might have wrote it the next day.
Of course.
In the Herald, right?
Legend, yeah.
Yeah, legend, exactly, right?
Shout out Danny
and he
V.
wrote a big, right? Shout out Danny V. Incredible pillar around here for years. He wrote like this big piece on our starting five, and it was really, really special.
That's cool.
Good one.
Yeah.
I gotta find that video.
Yeah.
And then my last one, before we go to full court press.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the best player you've ever played against? Playing or coaching?
In New England or just overall?
Yeah, anywhere, I guess. Could be with the Magic.
Let's see. My teammate at Curry, Sadell Jones, is one of the best players I ever played with or against. And we played each other, pick up every day of practice. We'd go head to head.
Wow, okay.
He played at UMass Amherst at first. And then, so Sadell Jones
Shout out UMass.
is
That's my alma
definitely
mater.
one of them. And then I looked up to Anthony Gurley, right? He was like,
Another UMass.
yeah. So Anthony, I looked up to him. He was like an idol of mine. I was a, late bloomer, they call it, right? So I think he was only a grade above me. It felt like he was 5 years older than me when I watched him. Long story short, we became great friends. One of my good friends, so
That's
like,
amazing.
yeah. But Anthony is when he was in his, when he was real healthy and young. Anthony was one of the best players I ever played with or seen. For sure.
He was big time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, that's good prelude to full court press. Let's toss it over to Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan, you're going to make it through the podcast. It's getting a little late for a 25-year-old person. Such advanced age.
I need my video game time. Where is it?
What were we talking about? Oh, I just remembered. Full court press. Let's do it.
Full court press.
I didn't quite play against John Havlicek, but I played against John Havlicek's son, Chris Havlicek, who went to Rivers, and I played against him in the Rivers tournament. He was a freshman, I was a senior. He was still better than me, of course. All right, for full court press, we lob 3 questions the way of all 3 of our panelists here, and I got some fun questions today. Coach, let's start with you. Who is the best NBA player who has never won a title? And I've got some nominees if you want, but I imagine you probably have a couple names straight away.
I would say Allen Iverson's on that short list.
Sure.
Yep. I think Charles Barkley. Yeah, Chuck doesn't get his due.
Those were the 2 that I had.
Really?
At the top. Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah. I mean, just whatever, but
Yeah.
great ones.
Those are good.
The younger guys here will come up with some more contemporary examples.
Yeah, what
maybe.
do we got?
I don't know. Steve, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Chris Paul.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still could win one, I suppose.
I guess. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Is he's not retired yet?
I don't think so.
No.
I think he's. I think if not, it'll be next season. Probably his last year. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he's in that. He's definitely in that conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a
John Stockton too. Shout out Coach Crotty.
Sure.
is that Karate's favorite
And
guy?
and his doppelganger,
yeah.
Karl Malone. You could throw in Karl Malone too.
For sure.
Ethan, you got anybody else?
Let's go. I'm trying not to pick James Harden because we were just talking about him on the last podcast. So,
Sure.
I also think he's a fraud anyway. So
man, he's okay. Anyway, did Gary Payton ever win a title?
yeah,
Was
right.
Yeah, with the Heat, right?
Wasn't he with us?
Was he on that Heat team when White Chocolate? I think.
Let me double check.
He wasn't on
If
either of the
not him,
Celtics.
I'll throw out.
I think GP was on that team.
I don't know. I don't think. I'll throw out someone else too. This is probably not.
2006 NBA champ. So that's
Okay.
the Heat, right?
Yeah. So
we go.
I'll throw out Reggie Miller too. Probably not quite the level of your 2 answers, but I'll put him in the conversation as well. Reggie Miller's really good.
Good
I was just watching that Malice in the Palace documentary.
Yeah.
That's pretty much torpedoed that whole season. They were the favorite.
I
That's
know. I know.
Great documentary.
Yeah, those Untold are
Crazy.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Others receiving votes. Russell Westbrook, I guess, although
Okay.
he certainly
Yeah.
still has time, right? Dominique Wilkins, human highlight film.
Yep.
Steve Nash, Patrick Ewing. Okay.
Pat,
Ewing.
man,
New
Cambridge
England-
boy over
New England
here,
legend,
Pat,
yeah.
man,
Absolutely.
yes.
All right. Since I'm the only member of Generation X in the room, this question is for me. No, this question is, I'm going to give you 3 generations of NBA players, and I want you guys to decide which is the best. Okay, so, and I'm going to give you 5. I mean, I don't want to overload you here, but 5 players on each generation. Generation X,
Jesus.
that's mine.
Love it.
Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Allen Iverson. Okay. Now the millennials. Are you guys all millennials?
I'm a millennial.
I'm a
yeah.
Gen Z.
What do you coach?
89.
Yeah. So
I think that's
yeah, you're a millennial.
millennial.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gen Z. You guys are Gen Z.
I'm millennial.
I'm Gen Z.
I'm millennial.
Oh, you are. Okay, so Ethan's the baby. All right.
92.
Anyway, millennials: LeBron, Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis. If you want to throw in Harden, Westbrook, and then finally for you, Ethan, Gen Z. No, wait. Did I say? Yeah, Gen Z. Luka, Jason Tatum, John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, Zion. I don't know. Ethan's going to have the toughest.
You can only have 5
bet.
guys on a court.
Yeah.
All right, Ethan, you can start
You
on this
want
one.
me to go?
Who would you say is the best?
I
out of
think
this?
I'm going team millennial, and as much as Wemby could very, very much change things, but no, team millennial.
Too early for Gen Z, maybe.
Yeah. Especially, I think Giannis probably barely snuck onto team millennial. That's a really good addition for team millennial. So
Yeah.
I'll go team millennial. Yeah.
Coach,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I would, and of course I'm such a contrarian. Can I go a generation before? Can I go like Mike?
Boomers?
Can I go Mike,
Yeah.
Larry, Magic, Kareem? Mike, Larry, Magic, Kareem, and maybe like young Hakeem.
Yeah, I think they would all make it.
If you get,
yeah.
if you give me, I'll take them.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm taking Gen X with the AI in them.
Yeah, maybe the better debate would be actually the Boomers versus Gen X. So
Yeah.
the original Dream Team, Larry, Michael,
Yep.
Magic, Kareem, etc. You said it.
Yeah, and we're talking in their primes, not
Sure,
like
no, of
not
course.
yeah, not 92 like they want to say all the young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, them at their best. Give me those guys.
How about you, Steve? Thoughts?
I'm going to go team millennial. I just think it has the best of everything, like best shooter ever.
Steph
And-
Curry, yeah.
And then,
Okay.
And then just the athleticism and physicality and length and defensive versatility that Giannis and LeBron and who else is on there?
Yeah, KD.
KD.
Yeah, it's a scary team.
Yeah, they just can do everything at an elite level.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take that
You
one.
go young D Wade. You go
Yeah.
Flash on that. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah. By the way, the Boomers. Here could be your starting 5: Kareem, Karl Malone, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, with Hakeem as the
yeah.
6th man.
and then maybe Charles.
Charles,
like I'll
yeah.
take that team.
All right.
Okay.
We win.
Yeah.
All right.
Put it in 2K. Probably-
Final question. This one's a crazy one, but what NBA conspiracy theory might be true? I've got 3.
All of them.
I've got 3,
you have-
three
it's a multiple
nominees.
choice.
I
I'm
got
just
three,
kidding.
I got 3 nominees for you, or you can go off the board. Number 1, Michael Jordan's first retirement was a secret suspension because he had a gambling problem, of course, and they let him save face by retiring for a few years. Number 2, the 2002 Western Conference Finals were fixed. I think you guys will remember this one. Lakers and Kings.
Yep.
Lakers shot 27 free throws in the fourth quarter alone.
Isn't that already
And that was the
proven?
game, or he hit the 3 right at the top of the key. I'm pretty sure on the tip out.
I think so.
I'll take your word for it.
I
Yeah.
think so.
pretty sure.
02, I think.
Yeah, I think
I remember watching that live.
0-2. Yep.
It was on my birthday or something.
And number 3, the 1985 draft lottery was rigged for the Knicks. This is a great one. As the theory goes, the Knicks were the only big market team in the lottery. Patrick Ewing was going to be the number 1 pick. And as the theory goes, they took the Knicks logo and they put it in the freezer before they picked it, so he would know he could reach in and pick the cold one. David Stern. So Any thoughts, Coach? Any thoughts on whether any of those are true or otherwise? No?
No comment. The one question I have is, was that the best way to do it with the draft lottery, like the cold one? Like,
it's
kind of genius.
It's kind of genius, I know. Exactly, because, otherwise you don't want it to be anything visible when he takes it out. So you don't want it to be a little nick on the corner of it,
No,
so
it's pretty.
I know. That's why it makes it more believable. Although, who knows? Steve, any conspiracy?
Yeah. I might
add
add one more to,
to
the lottery conspiracy is this year.
Oh, the Cooper flag.
The Cooper flag, yeah.
We're like 3 months after they traded Luka. Like,
yeah, allow the Mavs to save face.
yeah.
But I don't know. The other one
it's just so unlikely.
The other one is that Tim Donaghy didn't act alone, and that he just took the fall for
That's another
I believed that.
You do?
I don't
That there
know.
were others?
I've listened to some of his. Anything that
Watch
he
the
does with an
documentary.
interview is so good. Like,
Yeah.
Did you watch the documentary?
I didn't watch the documentary, but I
I'll watch
listened to a
that.
podcast series that he did, and it was fascinating.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I listened to that too.
Yeah. So I would pick the Lakers Kings one.
I think that's actually the most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
The detail he gets into is hard to deny. Yeah.
I mean, he admitted everything.
All right.
Coach, I know we want to wrap this up, but that just reminded me of, you guys will remember who, or maybe you won't. There was a fringe player who has now been banned from basketball because there was an unusual amount of betting on
Jonte Porter.
Yeah, what was the under 1 rebounds or something?
Yeah, and he kept subbing himself out. Or no, it was under. I don't know if it was specifically that one, but it was.
Was it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He's right here.
yeah.
Just
drops
lets it
the
go
ball.
out.
He had
No,
like
I'm
these.
blocking out. I'm blocking.
Yeah.
Well, but can you imagine how? Talk about an easy bet. I mean, if his, I don't know what the over/under was. Maybe it was 2, so maybe he could get 1 rebound and then check out. But it's pretty easy not to get a rebound.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No, he's. I mean,
Unless it comes right to you.
Right, exactly. So easy to bet on,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I know you probably don't even like to think about these things, Coach, but because I hope there isn't betting on the games that you coach. Although there's betting on everything. But any thoughts on betting in the NBA and whether it's been a good thing or a bad thing?
That's really interesting. I mean, people are going to find a way to do it anyways.
Yeah.
So to make it legal and shoot, hopefully it helps our economy. Like, I wouldn't mind paying a couple, cents less for gas. So if it if it can affect the economy positively and everything,
And maybe someday less for like NBA
for
tickets
for
or whatever.
ticket prices,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of positives, but like you said, the policing, I mean, has to.
It's rough.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a fine line.
Just get rid of. I say get rid of the.
What do you think? What is the right answer? Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, I think what you said at first is right. It's here to stay. I think they can do things like get rid of. What do you call that? It's not a parlay. When you bet on like somebody's stats, the
Props.
Thank you. Yeah. Get rid of those specific props because they're too easy to fix.
The individual stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because especially the fringe NBA players, they're not rich guys. The guys hanging on, they might be working at Walmart next week, So if somebody comes to them and says, "I'll give you $50,000 if you only get 2 rebounds and not 3," then it's like, okay,
No,
If I'm
yeah.
not mistaken, I think props are illegal in some states.
Okay.
Are they?
I think
not
different.
totally
Yeah,
sure.
different states have different rules. I
Yeah.
think the advertising too is just way out of control, and we got to rein that in. It's crazy how it's
The
everywhere.
NFL too.
It's what I'm concerned about, and I will not bet. Like, I refuse to bet, not because I deem it like morally unacceptable. It's more because I don't want to lose my just undying love for the game. Like, I need this added like boost to enjoy a basketball game.
Yep.
And that's what I'm fearful of for like the rest of the country needing like this. This
Extra
extra,
incentive.
to watch an awesome game. Like, yeah, exactly.
That's why
Yeah.
I run a fantasy football league where there's no entry fee and no winnings. It's because
Just for the love of the game?
No, it's fun. It's still a fun game,
Right.
And also,
Bragging rights.
I'm too lazy to collect the fees. So that's the other thing. Anyway, well, you've all done very, very well, and we thank you for being good sport and hanging with us, Coach, on Full Court Press.
It was awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
back to you guys to wrap things up.
All right. Yeah, that was awesome. We hit a lot there. Thank you for the depth in your answers too, Coach. Great having you on.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I hope it's cool.
It was good. We've been wanting to have you on for a long time, so I'm excited that we could have you in here.
And the last thing, thank you for all you do, man. You guys are shedding light on this thing the right way. So thank you.
We
Appreciate
appreciate
that,
it. Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
For Lambros Papalambros, for producer Yaz, Steve Hewitt, I'm Ethan Fuller. Thank you once again. We'll see you next time.